bombs out of
It's
the
a
sky.
beautiful area
The
here.
remaining munitions made contact with residential buildings as well as critical energy infrastructure. 3 people were reported injured down the coast in Odessa, but no casualties were reported in Mykolaiv. However, power was out across the city for almost 8 straight hours, only for the city to then be shelled again overnight, with an air raid alert lasting from 11 p.m. until the early morning hours. Local military officials reported this morning that 14 kamikaze drones were shot down. Mykolaiv has been a city particularly hard hit since the Russian invasion in February. It once had an estimated population of about 500,000 people, with more than half of the residents in Slane City. Mykolaiv with central water supply for 6 months. Residents haul bottles of water from central refill locations to their homes daily. Municipal water chief Boris Didenko says he believes Mykolaiv is the hardest city. BBC News, Kyiv. The contest to replace Liz Truss as British Prime Minister has a new contender. Former finance minister
intentions and deliver the party faithful. He is currently the clear front-runner in the race to 10 Downing Street and the bookies' favourite. According to the latest counts, the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who hasn't yet declared his intention to run, is a distant second, while the leader of the House of Commons, Penny Mordaunt, is trailing in 3rd place.
I'm in this to win it. I think it's important for our party. We have a contest. I am very confident about our numbers.
There's still no word from Boris Johnson's camp if he intends to enter the race. This morning there were reports he and Sunak held a secret late-night summit, fueling speculation they could strike a deal. A prospect that seems highly unlikely now Sunak has officially thrown his hat into the ring. Dominic Velitis, CBC News, London.
A car bomb explosion in Somalia's port city of Kismayo has killed at least 3 people. State-run television says the Al-Qaeda-linked group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility. A car packed with explosives rammed into a gate of a hotel where reportedly there were plans being made to attack the terror group. A similar attack on the same hotel in 2019 killed 24 people. Thousands of Canadians are calling.
You're welcome, Tyler.
The ban has garnered over 15,000 signatures. Heather Hulkenberg, who initiated the petition, says the agency should instead look to tighter regulations around dog importation.
We do have to look at how we can alleviate the concerns of dogs coming into Canada while still being able to rescue animals from other countries.
Canine rabies has been eliminated in Canada, but 2 cases were detected in dogs imported into Ontario in 2021. In both instances, the dogs had received rabies vaccines in Canada before their arrival. Louis Qantas, medical association, says the plan is warranted to deal with the immediate threat of canine.
We cannot our canine variant rabies free.
But Hulkenberg says other options could include stricter rules around rabies vaccination and antibody tests to ensure dogs aren't bringing the disease into the country. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency told CBC in an email that it is willing to look at other regulations in the future. Darren Major, CBC News, Ottawa.
Health authorities in the U.S. warn using hair-straightening chemicals may increase the risk of uterine cancer. Researchers say Black women are more likely to use the products. As Phil Glishanok reports, some Black women say they face social pressure to appear a certain way, so they straighten their hair.
We already know that it's harmful. It's killing our children.
In their hair to fit in, get more opportunities.
It's so profound because the way that Black people's hair looks affects who wants to hire them for a job.
And a large-scale study now shows the health risks. It followed more than 33,000 women in the U.S. for more than a decade, and researchers found those who used hair relaxers also.
Men and white women are diagnosed at about the same rates. Black women are 40% more likely to die from their disease.
Advocates like Awake Smith say there needs to be an end to discrimination for having afro-textured hair and a broader view of what's considered. Phil Glishanok, CBC News.
residents of the province of Ontario, and the provincial government has responsibility for public order in this city. So we learned through testimony from the mayor of Ottawa, Jim Watson, and others, that the provincial government thought, and Premier Ford thought it was a waste of time to sit with federal and municipal partners during the convoy to engage in dialogue and planning around the government's response to the occupation. But also that the Solicitor General at the time, Sylvia Jones, was also not actively engaged in conversations around policing. And that some of the resources that were being claimed to have been sent to Ottawa by the province had not in fact materialized. So you have a tricky situation with Ottawa where, it is the nation's capital, so, we associate Ottawa with the federal government. But in fact, the province has a huge role to play here. And I'm not sure other Ontarians, would accept how Ottawa is treated in this situation.
It's a really interesting point, and I know you write about this distinction between the constitutional responsibility at play from the Premier versus the perceived political responsibility by the Prime Minister in a city like Ottawa. If this happened to this extent in another city in the province, do you think the response would be different from the province?
Oh, absolutely. We learned that on Friday. There was testimony and documents, contemporaneous documents presented that showed that the leadership of the OPP saw Windsor and the Ambassador Bridge as a priority, and that policing in the part of the OPP that was assisting in Ottawa would take the leftovers, was the language used of whatever policing resources were available to deal with the occupation in Ottawa.
Is that though because of the role that Ottawa plays, as you say, on a federal landscape, or when you look at the implications of trade that the Ambassador Bridge creates between the U.S. and Canada?
Well, it's those factors, right? The Ambassador Bridge is hugely important to the Canadian economy, and no question. And no municipality in the province of Ontario, no industry should be subject to this kind of this kind of disruption. So that, I wouldn't dispute that at all. The problem here is this political misalignment, this political administrative misalignment, where I think it was very evident to the players involved that Justin Trudeau was going to wear this protest. It wasn't going to do that for it. And the Prime Minister is quoted as saying that in notes taken in a phone call between him and Jim Watson, is saying that Premier Ford is absenting himself. Is hiding from the responsibility in this situation, and that he would stand with Mayor Watson in calling for more action from the province. So it's odd that the Premier has not been called to speak to the Commission, and the Solicitor General has not been called to speak. However, we are seeing representation from the province and the OPP at the Commission, so we are getting some of the story out.
This week, Ottawa Mayor Jim Watson described the lack of engagement from the Solicitor General, Sylvia Jones, to your point earlier that the province didn't attend meetings about the convoy. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't know why you would give up that responsibility, except to say that politically there was some overlap between supporters of the provincial government, the progressive conservative government, and people within the broader convoy movement. There's certainly, and we can see that at the federal level, people like current conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, meeting with the convoy, protesters bringing food, with Candice Bergen, former interim leader of the Conservative Party, defending convoys, and dining with them. So, there is a relationship there broadly. Of course, the Premier did condemn illegal protests, to condemn the actions of the convoy protesters. But it was politically risky, I think, for the progressive conservative government to go much further to act against what is essentially a part of their coalition.
Let's
do you think having so many levels of police perhaps contributed to what ultimately took place?
This is something that has been on the radar of public officials and folks in Ottawa for many years. When there was the attack on Burlington in 2014, there was a review of the number of police services that were involved in policing Parliament Hill and Parliamentary Precinct, which is the area around Parliament. It's a very complicated security situation. The RCMP have jurisdiction for the lawn around Parliament Hill and for the protection of important persons, such as the Prime Minister or the Governor General. The Ottawa Police Service controls the streets, and the Parliamentary Protective Service looks after the buildings used by parliamentarians in the course of their work. It means that if you have a dynamic situation where you have movement across parliamentary precincts, so that area that would be under the control of the RCMP or the Parliamentary Protective Service to include some of the downtown streets of Ottawa, it's complicated with the city. There's municipal infrastructure underneath that needs to be, taken care of. But it's certainly getting a clearer picture of who is involved. And ultimately, the Ottawa Police Service is a municipal police force, right? And we're also testing them with national security, with the protection of our most important democratic institutions. And I think that's a lot to place on a municipal police force, and one that ultimately is paid for by Ottawans themselves as through their municipal property taxes.
There's still a lot to unpack here, of course, but I wonder for you, what are so far the biggest takeaways of that disconnect that you talk about in gaps in policing at the local level, but also security policy from a provincial and a federal one?
I think my biggest takeaway, where I think the conversation needs to go in the province, is Ottawa a part of Ontario or not? And I grew up in Goderich, Ontario. I grew up in Southwestern Ontario, and I think when I was growing up, I don't think I thought of Ottawa as a city. I think I thought of it as the Parliament buildings in the field. And it wasn't until I came here and lived here for the past 20 years that I've come to realize citizens Premier Ford didn't come after the convoy, and he only visited once during into the order of things in the province. And I think we need to have a real conversation not only about the local governance of this city, but in terms of a municipal election. Pushing in municipal politics tends to be the lowest. We see most engagement at the federal level and less at the provincial level, and very low voter turnout usually.
Good morning, Uma.
But because the breakdown of municipal government was so evident in January and February, I've noted real energy in the core of Ottawa anyway to want to see change. Now, it's a tight race.
Bye. Oh, we're back again.
Like the war in Ukraine and other things, but always interesting to hear his thoughts. He's a big brain, and always interesting to hear what he has to say.
Absolutely. I really love Sapiens. Really looking forward to that conversation. Pia, too soon to talk Blue Jays? How are you feeling about the Blue Jays right now?
Well, John Schneider's going to be with us for the next 3 years. I'm mixed feelings about that. Nice guy. Good, been with the team forever. I shouldn't say mixed feelings. I still feel the burn, right? So I will get through that by February when baseball, the Jays are back. 30 years ago,
Major milestone.
one of the biggest in Canadian sports history. The Jays win the first of 2 World Series. I'm not going to age either of us, only to say I remember where I was that night. It's together.
Yeah, exactly. The words sweets are such a big
Took the
part.
glove job.
A time.
give it away.
Sure.
Of course, isn't there a mouse nest in there?
In that stove?
Yeah, I think it's become the home for a family of mice or something.
Oh.
It's quite rusted. I tried to open the door and
Yeah, you could just sell it for metal and get a bit of money for it.
what?
You could sell it for metal and get a bit of money for it.
Well, maybe, or just give it away. Somebody that has an outbuilding that they want.
Yeah, a big garage or something with
A root stove for.
That might work, yeah.
I wonder if you could put it in a teepee. I wonder
No,
if.
no, it cannot. Remember when we had it in the house? How far we had to move the furniture away from that stove? Because
Oh,
it was
that's
way
right. It radiated on all sides. Yeah.
That's probably kinder not to give it away so that people don't accidentally get a fire. Yeah, I remember the.
These rocks are very jagged. I wonder what kind of rock it is. It'd be fun to take a geology course, you know? I realized our sumac bush has lots of red sumac seed pods on top. But they're pretty high up. Look at the geese out there. There they go. Sign, sign, everywhere, sign. Breaking up the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the sign? Okay, I think this is enough of our drive. It was pretty colors, wasn't it? It was hard a lot of the time to reconnect. There's not very good cell service in the wilderness. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely day today. Bye-bye.